This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs. With that, we're out to Arrowhead for the call from Kansas City. We'll hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up with the Houston Texans. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
So here's Kaimi Fairbairn to do the honors. And into a sea of red, we're underway in Kansas City. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Always fun to see Patrick Mahomes, and we'll get a look at him here as he brings out the Chiefs offense. Likely, though, not going to be a second straight MVP season for Patrick Mahomes. Not anywhere near the 50 touchdowns that he threw a season ago, but maybe a more mature Patrick Mahomes this year? What do you say?
I would agree with that. And remember when we started this season, we kind of joked a little bit, a little tongue-in-cheek, that if he doesn't throw 50 touchdowns, everybody's going to talk about what a bad year Patrick Mahomes had. Don't forget, missed some time with a knee injury. Yeah. Kansas City's defense had its struggles. But bottom line is, they went to New England not long ago and won. They didn't do that last year. Lost in New England twice, right? I mean, lost New England once in the regular season, then at home in the playoffs in the AFC Championship game in 2018. So to see that maturation where he could find a way to beat Tom Brady and the Patriots, I would agree that he's a better quarterback this year, even if the numbers don't support it.
Let's go, D.
Now the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be a third and about 13. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Got his man. It's Williams. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. On 4th down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. Deandre Carter's deep for the Texans. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 21. From the gun, here's Watson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, there defensively to make the play. And And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
Deandre Hopkins was named All-Pro for the first time in 2017, and really don't have to do much but look at the statistics to know why. 4 touchdown grabs in 2016, jumped that up to 13 in 2017. That led all NFL receivers. Also added in 96 catches and close to 1,400 yards. Deandre Hopkins' ability to get free in the secondary.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. 3rd and long, it's Watson. Finding fouls complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards 2:22 on the clock.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. And his throw is going to be incomplete. And a glance now at the Chiefs' defense.
Tyrann Mathieu's instincts as a defensive back, I believe, are second to none. And that allows him to play all over the secondary. He can line up as an outside corner, inside in the slot, and that's difficult to do because you get so much traffic in there. And then, of course, they can also move him back as a safety. Anywhere you put him, though, you know he's going to end up around the football.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. First carry for Carlos Hyde. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. That's about as good as a linebacker can diagnose that play, isn't it?
It certainly is, and what he did really well is that while he was diagnosing, he got his feet in motion without actually going anywhere and taking a false step that he had to make up later. He read it, got his feet in motion, and then he just took off and made the play.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Then he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 36.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 36. Now it's Watson. Steps away to his left. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. On 2nd down, Hyde. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
A pickup of 2 yards, and the Texans first down. That's the end of the first quarter.
We're scoreless after 1. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They run again with Hyde on 1st. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Watson, off play action, going for it all. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. Deandre Hopkins there to make the grab as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening, but they found the opening and exploited it.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Kansas City's offense. And, Charles, a 4th straight AFC West title for the Chiefs, but still no Super Bowl appearance in 50 seasons. Could this year be different?
I think it could, and I was skeptical about it mid-season. But the reason I say yes, defensive line playing much better. I'm going to give you 2 names. Derek Nottie, defensive tackle. Chris Jones, defensive tackle, defensive end. They're stuffing the run game better. They're pushing the pocket against the passers. That's helped out the back end. And, of course, any team that has Patrick Mahomes at quarterback is always a threat. This is a good year for Kansas City to make that run.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw, it's Mahomes. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Travis Kelce, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended target. But now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. And it's complete to Kelce. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 44-yard line.
Yellow, 180. Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it. Right side.
Mahomes going to fire this out wide to Hill. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, He was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And now out comes Houston. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 15-yard line.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime preview. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
Writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A shotgun snap for Watson. They'll roll him out right. He's going to take off with it. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. Fighting through it. He's got space.
Let's be frank. You hate the fumble at the end of the play. But prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage. But in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline,
step out.
Yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, he had the yards, but then the mistake. And now here comes Kansas City. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Now, that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on third down.
Squeeze, double.
Off the draw, here's Williams. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Throwing again on second down. Mahomes. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. He'll let this go for the end zone. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play, and guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
So we've reached halftime with just the lone touchdown here. 7-0 is our score. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been a hard-fought battle to this point. 7-0 is the score, with neither offense really able to get on track. But let's not waste any time. We'll get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the second half.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Throwing on 3rd and long. Watson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4th.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. They run it again with Williams. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And going deep for him. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. On 3rd and 10, they go flying past the marker and get nearly 40 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. This is McCoy. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
Yellow.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
On the tackle. A gain of 2 makes it 3rd and 11.
I've got Louie. Tight, watch left. Tight.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Butker's kick here is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. What happened there? Was that just a missed assignment on the O-line?
It certainly felt like it, but also the speed of the play. When you're talking about defensive end, they want to be ahead of the clock, don't they? They want to be upfield, making plays on every snap. How about his agility there to run that one down?
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Watson operating from the gun. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Duke Johnson, the one he was looking for. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Now Watson on 3rd down. He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Brian Anger now, as he's on to punt for Houston. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Mahomes now to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. got to make completion, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Looking to throw again on second down. Mahomes, and he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards there and a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Mahomes now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. Scoring has really been at a premium, and Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. Their offense too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up, an exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
And now out comes Houston. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Here's Hyde on the draw. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Decent start defensively to this series. They've got to stop them here and get this ball back.
I like the way you phrase that, partner. Decent start. But now it's got to be more about the ball. It's all about the ball, getting it away from them, because making good tackles is one thing, but the clock will run out on you. You've got to have the football back for your offense.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. From the 50, it's Watson. He'll buy some time right. He's going to take off with it. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
It's a gain of 25 yards. First down, Houston.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
Check.
And Watson's going to throw it here. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. 3rd down, Carlos Hyde. Space to run past the 20. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live foot. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 40. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. In for the score. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. So a late score here to give them the lead, and this one is going down to the wire.
And it has the whole place buzzing, doesn't it? And you feel it start to ratchet up. Anytime there's a score late in the game, especially one that puts a team in the lead, creates an exciting finish.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Kansas City defense, they make their way onto the field now. They've got a situation where a field goal ties it. How do you defend this? Because you obviously don't want to give up the touchdown. How aggressive do you get?
That's always the key, isn't it? Where is the line on aggressiveness to over-aggressiveness? And I think most coordinators are looking at it like run your regular defense, add some pressure packages, because really the 35-yard line is the one you really want to defend. At that point, you're thinking you're probably giving up 3. Anything outside of that, you feel like you've got a chance to hold them.
So they'll be in search of the proper amount of pressure.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Back to throw. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it, but they've got to continue to move quickly.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. He'll look to throw. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. He's back to throw. Rolling to his right. And now he's going to use his legs. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Back to throw. Fighting to stay upright. stepping up. He's going to keep it. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. A quick throw out wide to Fuller. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. Second time here today. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick here is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This one taken from the 7.
That's it, baby. We go first.
Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then
so a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender, and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, sometimes a thing of beauty.
Williams. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. What will they draw up to try to keep this opening drive of overtime moving? 3rd and 7. First throw of overtime for Mahomes. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 34. They'll run it with Williams. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Yellow.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mahomes, it's Hill, complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Mahomes to throw on 3rd and 1. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Defense was thinking run, and they're dealt a pass of just under 20 yards. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmys and the Joes.
Yellow. Come on, dude. Watch left, watch left.
Now McCoy. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Williams. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Chiefs victorious here as we say so long from Arrowhead.